Sandstorm. Put your hands up. Let's go. Bob your head to this. SC Cap G. Hey, it's me. Stuntin' on my grizzy, stuntin' on my grizzy. You know how I do, yeah, stuntin' on my grizzy. Stuntin' on my grizzy, stuntin' on my grizzy. You know how I do, yeah, stuntin' on my grizzy. Stuntin' on my grizzy, stuntin' on my grizzy. You know how I do, yeah, stuntin' on my grizzy. Stuntin' on my grizzy, stuntin' on my grizzy. You know how I do, yeah, stuntin' on my grizzy. Stuntin' on my grizzy, I'm stuntin' on my grizzy, stuntin' on my grizzy, I'm stuntin' on my grizzy, Come in the club, yeah, I'm high as height. Seeing all the flashing lights, it's Vegas night. Step through, suited up like a crime fight. You know that I wanna leave with a dime, right? Spanish, Latina, tengo la llave. Wanna roll Cap G, you can come find me. VIP drinks free, that's where I be. Yeah, I roll with them boys, not Tommy. Straight tone, got me in the zone. You texting your man, once you get off the phone. I'm in here looking for a dime to bone and tell him I can spit on some reggaeton. Stuntin' on my grizzy, stuntin' on my grizzy. You know how I do, yeah, stuntin' on my grizzy. Stuntin' on my grizzy, stuntin' on my grizzy. You know how I do, yeah, stuntin' on my grizzy. Stuntin' on my grizzy, stuntin' on my grizzy. You know how I do, yeah, stuntin' on my grizzy. Stuntin' on my grizzy, stuntin' on my grizzy. You know how I do, yeah, stuntin' on my grizzy. Stuntin' on my grizzy, I'm stuntin' on my grizzy, stuntin' on my grizzy, I'm stuntin' on my grizzy,
Oye, dime quién responde, ese culo tuyo enorme. Freca necia, cara bonita, labio de fresa. Y yo vine para atrás, chequea este flow que te no he copiado nada. Avisando en my greasy, tengo un par de tipas que no lo fuerza tan easy. Dame un beso, olvídate de eso, lo que quiero es sexo. Estoy en el bloque, prendo un Dodge y me voy en el coche. Regresé con mi equipo blanco, peligroso, no perico. A lot of niggas con mi chico, cara bonita, no sencillo. Muchos me dicen clásico, es peligroso, un maniático. Y todos ustedes son mi hijo, cause I make it look easy, frito.
Stuntin' on my grizzy, stuntin' on my grizzy. You know how I do, yeah, stuntin' on my grizzy. Stuntin' on my grizzy, stuntin' on my grizzy. You know how I do, yeah, stuntin' on my grizzy. Stuntin' on my grizzy, stuntin' on my grizzy. You know how I do, yeah, stuntin' on my grizzy. Stuntin' on my grizzy, stuntin' on my grizzy. You know how I do, yeah, stuntin' on my grizzy. Stuntin' on my grizzy, I'm stuntin' on my grizzy, stuntin' on my grizzy, I'm stuntin' on my grizzy,
Yeah.
Hey class, they ain't hear nothing like this.
Hell no, my nigga.
Yeah. That's when the different cultures collide.
They know.
Yeah. Sandstorm, classical. Yeah, man. Shout out to Cam, Daryl, oh boy Matt, D Money, Single Dollar, the whole Skywalking crew. Hey, what up, Bangs? We here now,
Yes, we are.
so come find us.
Yeah.
Tú lo sabes.
We're the building. SC got cheese, nigga. If you don't like it, no te lo comas. Wanda, be too ready, motherfucker. Estamos aquí, sonando. Diferente. Sandstorm. Clásico. And we are like that.
And welcome to another episode of the House of Fandom. This is your boy Clark on the check-in, reporting live from Hollywood, Florida. And I am joined here by my special co-host, guest host, and the guest host of Carousels, Mr. Tony the Tank, is in the building live from Detroit. What is up, brother?
I'm good. How about you?
I'm good, man. I'm just, doing what I do, man. Just making sure that the all the music is working and the mic is working. So I'm gonna do a sound check real quick. All right, looks like we are good, man. Just had to do a sound check. But, man, welcome to the House of Fandom, brother. I am excited that you are here.
Me too.
Really excited.
I am too. I'm glad. I've been excited ever since you asked me to come on. But
Yeah, awesome, man. Yeah, I was, like one of the things that was really like exciting for me is that we're going to talk a lot about something both near and dear to your heart and my heart, Superman, the Man of Steel. Obviously, that's something huge that everybody that knows me, and if you look at obviously my background, my backdrop, it's all Superman all over, right? So for me, it's like, this is a treat, man, because a lot of people don't know. For those of you that's just joining us right now, I met the Tank over at work, and so one day I saw him and he was wearing a Superman shirt, and I was like, oh, okay, let me check this guy out, see what's up with him. And we started talking Superman, we started talking DC, and I was like, man, this guy really can get into it, man. So let me ask you this. Just tell us a little bit about yourself and like what brought you to like really your love for like, all kinds of like DC, Marvel, all fandom stuff. What brought you to love it?
I mean, just as a young age, I just, I was only child, so it was all like, just TV and video games and comic books. So just at a young age, I just really got into, just my love of just all things, most things geek and fandom. It started like when I was younger, it was more so X-Men.
Okay. All right, so X-Men. All right, so you started off.
X-Men.
Now, when you say X-Men, are you talking X-Men comic book, or are we talking X-Men the movie? That's how you first got introduced to it.
Comic. Yeah, everything for me it was all started with the comic.
Oh, okay,
books.
All right. So you're the real deal Holyfield then. All right.
Yeah. Cause my older brother, he got me really into the comic books and everything. Really? Then it's like younger ones started with X-Men. My favorite was Wolverine and Gambit.
Nice.
Then I can't remember what age I was, but it was probably somewhere around maybe 10, 11 is when I started to like Superman became my favorite.
Nice.
I mean, just his power, like his. I mean, I know like that. That's like one of the things that people don't like about him. That's like one of the things I love about him is just how powerful he is.
Well, that's very interesting that you bring that up too, because a lot of people, or even now, they say, well, Superman, he's kind of like he's dull because he's got all these powers, and I mean, you can't defeat him. He doesn't have angst. He ain't crying and stuff like that. So like, he ain't stressing out about his parents being murdered. Now, keep in mind, I'm talking it in the context of comic books here and DC fandom. Okay. So just hold on a second there. But I mean, like really, what do you think about that? Like when someone says to you, hey, Superman's boring, bro. Superman is like 1930s. What do you think of that? What do you say to them? Other than giving them the Manson stare.
I would say to actually read the comic books or even like watch, like shows like Smallville. As we talked about before, Smallville is my favorite show. Like, I mean, he's not, he's not boring. He doesn't have inner turmoil like Batman. Right. But he is beatable. Like he's not. I mean, he's beatable. Like there are plenty of people. Like there are plenty of villains that he has that are just as strong or stronger than him. He died in the comic book.
Right, he did, and he was reborn.
There are, I think like people who feel like that they don't fully know the full comic book lineage, or they only go by what they see either in movies or something like that. There, because Superman has been beat by many people.
Right. Now, it's funny you bring that up. Just so you know, Tank, we've got some people in the chat room. I want to give a shout out to Dark Eyes, who says she agrees with you. Smallville was great, by the way. Also, Moira, she's getting a little upset about why we talking smack about Superman. She says snack, but I'm not gonna mess up. I'm not gonna give her a hard time because of the spelling. But no, but yeah. I mean, listen, we're biggest Superman fans right here, so I can tell you for sure that we would not be doing that. Also, want to give a shout out to my cousin and my brother as well, and also my friend and brother Danny. He's on there as well. They were both a host. So you actually are following those two gentlemen. They're on there to support you. They heard you were coming on, and so they're here too. So we appreciate you guys being here and just helping us rock tonight.
That's what's up. Yeah.
Yeah, for sure, brother. So, all right, so you're in Detroit now, right? So we talking live from Detroit.
Yeah.
Now, are we in Detroit? Are we in the suburbs? Where? You don't have to tell us your exact coordinates, all right? Because we don't want the stalkers to come to you. Although I don't think they would want to anyway. But that's neither here or there. But let me ask you something. Like, so are you in the Detroit city, or where are you? Like in the vicinity?
That's where I was, born and before I moved to Florida, I was born and raised in Detroit. Mm-hmm. When my mom lives there, that's where I was living at until August, and then I live in Warren, Michigan right now.
Okay.
But and Warren is really weird, like, 'cause there's parts of Warren where I'm at right now, where it's pretty much Detroit, just with a little bit of white people.
Okay, I'm following you.
Then there's a part of Warren that is pretty suburbs.
Okay.
I'm not in that part.
All right, very good, very good. Okay, but is it cold out there? I guess that's the big thing.
Right now, I mean, it's not, 'cause it's like depends who you ask. I mean, I said I'm a big guy, like as we talked before.
right.
I'm a big guy, so it's hard to get cold. Like right now, it's like in the 40s, like high 30s, 40s.
Okay, not too bad.
A week or two ago, it was really cold, and in like the 10s and 20s.
Okay, I got you. All right, that makes sense. So, all right, so let's do this. Let's start diving into the news that I've been hearing left and right. I want to start off with something that obviously is Superman centric. The picture is up there. There's an artist rendition that we just saw of Michael B. Jordan potentially as Superman. Earlier this week, or rather over the weekend, news broke that the Superman would be rebooted once again. And this time, J.J. Abrams was going to take this on. We'll talk all about that in just a moment, right? Because that's a whole other issue to unpack. But the screenwriter happened to be someone that is familiar with writing comic books. Is that correct? Is that what you've heard too, or?
I don't know about that part.
Yeah, that's what I heard.
Yeah.
I heard the guy is really like in tune with the whole like comic book and understands it. But the person that they hired happens to be a African American man who some are speculating that the whole reason for bringing on that screenwriter, a black screenwriter, is because they are moving in the direction of casting a black actor to portray Superman. Now, what are your thoughts on that? And we can talk about the variations of what we speculate on that, but initially, What are your thoughts with regards to hearing that news?
I don't want it to be a reboot. I want it to just be like another story, because me, I love Henry Cavill is pretty much Clark Kent Superman. He's perfect for that role. So I still want him to play Superman. But as long, and I don't, it's because there are, I know you said we'll talk about it later. There's two different versions of Superman that are black in the comic.
Yeah, please go ahead.
I'll
follow your lead.
So all right. So there's, the most recent one is called Val-Zod.
Val-Zod, and
that's like it's the Earth 2. He's on Earth 2 Superman. Where he was like because that's like a world where where pretty much everyone died.
Okay.
Even like
now, this is different. Just for everyone.
Like a multiverse.
Yeah, it's multiverse. So everyone knows it's different different universes of Superman and different variations, right? Okay. Yeah. So go ahead. I'm sorry.
Yeah. So this is in Earth 2, the multiverse, and like this, like Darkseid just took over like he always does, and then they find like this. I don't know the whole story, but they find his pod, and so then since Superman is dead, he takes up the mantle of being Superman. He has the costume that they've been having Michael B. Jordan in, like the blue and white. Right. That's where that costume comes from. And then there's like another one. It's a little bit older. His name is Calvin Ellis. Okay. But he's like the president. They base him off of Obama.
Okay. I did hear that. I did hear that. Yep. Yeah. I read that.
In that one, he actually is like he's Kal-El in that one. He just Captain B.
Okay.
He is Kal-El in that, and he's also the president and Superman.
Okay, that makes sense. Okay, so President, Superman, Kal-El, same Kal-El that we've known to love, but just happens to be a different skin color. That's really what it boils down to, right? Yeah. Because let's be honest here, Kal-El's an alien, so we're interpreting what Kal-El would look like, meaning Superman, in our own terms, right? Or in the terms that it was done by the creators, right? So yeah, but go so go ahead. So when you think about that, the multiverse, and you're talking about different iterations of Superman. Let me just point out that in the room, of course, Dark Eyes and Maura said that their snack is on point, and something about Michael B. Jordan being a snack. Okay, girls, calm down, ladies. All right. We're talking Superman here. All right, let's keep it PG. All right. No, I kid. But anyway, and so personal question to you. What direction do you want to see it go? Now, it could be Kal-El, right? It could be. We don't know this yet. It's all speculation. Or it could be what you just said is a multiverse situation. I know Dark Eye says she read an article that they specifically says that they're not replacing the existing Superman. Now, all of that is right at this point conjecture. We don't know if that's going to be the case, but what are your thoughts?
I think I would prefer the one I told you about, the multiverse, the Val Zod. I would prefer that one because from what I've read, that story is more entertaining.
Okay.
And I think that would be better like on the big screen than the Calvin Ellis.
Okay. So in other words, you think that it'll be a situation where it would serve the story well to do it in that way, right?
Right.
Okay.
Yeah.
So let me ask you this. Can you kind of give us just a brief summary of what does that story entail? Like different multiverse, is it set on Earth? Is it set on a variation of Krypton?
No, it's set on Earth. It's just like the multiverse, they, especially with DC, they have like so many different Earths. So it's set on Earth, and then this one is called Earth 2. And on this one, like Darkseid, he pretty much takes over Earth.
Okay.
And then like Wonder Woman's killed.
Wow.
I think Clark, Kal-El, they thought that he was like turned evil by Darkseid, if I remember correctly. But actually he was killed too, but they made a clone of him.
Okay, fair enough. All right, so
but he doesn't realize he's a clone. He thinks he's just the real Kal-El.
Gotcha.
Just turned evil.
All right. So let me I've been told that I need to correct myself here. Apparently Dark Eyes stated early on that she was specifically brought that up, so she wanted to let us know that she gave us the scoop here that in the article they specifically talked about not replacing the existing Superman, and that she spoke about the multiverse first, but we skipped it. So we recognize you, Dark Eyes. Tank, can you please give a shout out here to all the people in the room, because clearly they are watching and they are literally critiquing every word we say here.
What's up, everybody?
Hey, everybody! Everybody in the chat room, give a warm welcome to Tank. He's been great to come in and be able to rock with us. Keep in mind, I don't believe he's done a podcast like this before. Have you? I mean, correct me if I'm wrong. No, you have not.
I have not.
Yeah, so I mean, just like Danny, before, and just like Mello, just came on a rocket, and we appreciate it, man. So let's dive into this thing then. All right, casting, and then we'll move on. Will they cast Michael B. Jordan as this variation of Superman?
I highly doubt it because they never cast the fan cast. They always go with someone else. So I highly doubt that they would do Michael B. Jordan. I mean, it would be dope because I do like him as an actor,
right.
But
very good actor.
I honestly don't. Just going by history of movies, they never do the fan casting that people want.
Well, let's play numbers here. Black Panther, over $1 billion at the box office. Black Panther also made more than $400 to $500 million than Batman versus Superman. Okay, the appetite for a superhero with a little flavor, you know what I mean, like a representation of everyone is out there. We know we want it, right? I know I do. Yeah. I would love to see that, right? And so I think that when it comes down to it, it's going to be very successful as far as monetarily. I'm more concerned J.J. Abrams. Everybody, J.J. Abrams, let's be honest here, he did a number. I mean, he did a big number. I'm going to try not to get fresh or curse here, but he made a cluster fudge out of Star Wars. Let's unpack that. What are your concerns?
That he's going to do like he did with Star Wars and even Transformers, where he focuses too much on the over-the-top explosions and action, and there's very little story. Agreed.
I completely agree. So I think what my big concern is the story, right? But this script writer, and you know, I want to make sure I bring this up because I think it's very important. So forgive me for reading here for a second, but I do want to point it out because I think it's important that I talk about it. So the script writer that I was talking about earlier, everyone, is here we go. So what they're saying is that this J.J. Abrams reboot, right, is supposed to be a reboot, but not a reboot as we've been talking about. It may very well, like you said, be part of the multiverse. I'll be honest with you, I would not be surprised that we go down the route of multiverse because we've got Flashpoint coming out. That's the new Flash movie. It's starting to film production right now. Michael Keaton is already on set. And
nice.
Now I want to see pictures with him in the Batman outfit, but Michael Keaton will be in there. Ben Affleck will be returning as Batman. And here's what I'm trying to say. I believe that this whole multiverse thing plays into that as well, because you can have multiple Batmans. Why not have multiple Supermans? Because we're going to talk about another reiteration of Superman as our prime topic today, which is the review of the Superman and Lois TV show. But before we get into that, I don't see an issue with having multiple Supermans in the multiverse of superheroes. What are your thoughts there?
You know, I would love it. I would love it because I love that aspect of, you know, DC, you know, of comic books, mainly DC. I know like Marvel dips into it a little bit, but not as much as DC. I mean, I would love it. It's, like I said, as long as they still have Cavill in Israel, I'm happy.
So all right. So Henry Cavill, obviously, you know, is someone that has been in the role. But let's be honest, Henry Cavill, and he's up there now with the rest of the Justice League, if you're looking at it. But here's the thing. Henry Cavill had Man of Steel, the much maligned Batman v Superman, unless you've watched the director's cut. If you haven't, take a look at it.
I have.
It's 3 hours. Well, I know you have. But let's say the audience hasn't. If you haven't watched the director's cut of Batman v Superman, you got to check it out. It's long, but it definitely fleshes out things. And, you know, and I think what we have here is we didn't have... Henry Cavill has not been able to truly be Superman in a movie. Do you agree with that?
Right. Yeah, 100%. 100%. Because you know, Man of Steel, that was him, like, mainly being Clark Kent, building up... Clark Kent / Kal-El, building up to being Superman. Then... Batman v Superman, it was, you know, it was, you know, half, if not more than half, dealing with just Batman. And then he was not very much in Justice League. So he hasn't had, you know, like you said, we haven't got Man of Steel 2, if we ever will get it, which I hope we do. But so he hasn't had, like you say, he hasn't had a full film to really fully just be full-on Superman.
Right, absolutely. And here's the thing, too. What I've been hearing, and this goes back to the J.J. Abrams reiteration of it, or whatever they decide to do, that they're looking to not include or feature Clark Kent. So this is what all the news is saying, and right now we don't have a complete reliable source saying it yet. But does that give you an idea that maybe they are shifting to what you said, which was that multiverse character of Superman?
Yeah. Either that, or I mean, did you hear like they casting a Supergirl? So I don't know if she's going to play into that.
So for those of the listeners that just came on, what we're talking about is the news that Superman is going to be rebooted by J.J. Blasphemy. Abrams, and hopefully he'll bring a good. I pray that he does well, but I'm confident with the screenwriter, which so I'm hopeful that it will be a good adaptation. But what we were trying to say is that they just cast a Latina actress to portray Supergirl in the movie Flashpoint. Flashpoint will feature the same Flash from the Justice League Snyder Cut and the Justice League movie, right? And Batman versus Superman. And so he will be part of that multiverse going back in time. Now, a lot of people are saying that there's going to be a lot of different characters showing up there. Where do you feel that Supergirl, now keep in mind, Supergirl has been cast already, and it's a young Latina up-and-coming actress. What are your thoughts on the casting, one? And two, where do you see her fitting in this film?
Yeah, the casting, I never heard of the actress that they did. So I mean, I can't speak on her acting, whether she's good for it that way. With her, her casting, I mean, as long as, I mean, it depends. Like she's playing, the OG Supergirl Kara. I mean, as long as she has blonde hair, I don't care. I don't care what race she is in real life, because like we said, she's an alien.
Okay. Absolutely.
Doesn't really
and here's the
matter.
thing, it could be anything, right? So what I wanted to say is that the Deadline has from our friends at Deadline, they confirmed that the author Tanishi Coates is writing the Superman reboot for Warner Brothers and DC, and so he was also attached to with Ryan Coogler, Coogler from the Black Panther director, and obviously the Rocky Apollo Creed, the first Apollo Creed, right? Or excuse me, not Apollo Creed, the first Creed film, and so apparently he has been known to. He's written for the Village Voice. He's written for Time Magazine, Washington Post. He has nonfiction books. Of note, he has written Black Panther and Captain America series for the comics.
Oh, nice.
So I remember I was telling you earlier that I felt confident that he would know the source material and that he would treat it with reverence.
Yeah, so,
that's the reason why.
Yeah. That makes me feel a little bit better.
Yeah, it definitely makes me feel good too. I mean, especially like hearing that. Now, let me just real quick. I want to take a break to just say on the chat room, Dwayne the Boulder Johnson. Do they want to knock this out of the park? Then MJB is the man for the job. I agree with you there. Dark Eyes. Ben Affleck was playing Batman. There's a lot of skepticism around that. But Mello also states that Henry Cavill agrees with you that Henry Cavill is the best Superman besides Christopher Reeve. Of course, that's my Superman. And then finally, Dark Eyes states that Michael B. Jordan did make a statement about it, and although it was vague, I would say that he implied as though he would not portray the actual Superman because he believes in things being authentic. You agree with that?
I wouldn't want him to be Kal-El unless they have him play the other version I told you about where he's the president.
Right.
I don't want him to play modern day Kal-El, no, because that wouldn't be authentic at all. But if they have him play the Val Zod, who, he wasn't Kal-El, but he was Superman. I can't remember. I don't know if they call him Superman in that, or they just went as Val Zod and just had the S. But if he plays that character, I'm 100% fine.
Right. Okay. Fair enough. So let me let's move on to our next topic, because I know we're deep diving into Superman. If you can't tell already, this is a Superman centric episode of the House of Fandom, and that's how we're rocking today. We're rocking Superman style because that's how we do it. All right. So now, the next topic I want to go in, which is in fandom news, has to do with WandaVision. So let's talk about Marvel for a moment here, okay? I would imagine you've already watched the last episode of WandaVision that came out last week. We have the final episode, the finale, coming out tomorrow. Yeah. What did you think of the last episode? What implications does it have? What are your predictions for this final episode? Keep in mind, folks, this is all speculation. Tank and I have not watched the last episode yet. We're just merely speculating. But if you're concerned about spoilers, just FYI, we may be venturing into spoiler territory. Go ahead, sir.
Yeah. I mean, I really liked I liked the last episode. I mean, I like how they kind of went deep deep diving into Wanda's like her past and what made her, being actually and what made her be who she is and all her grief and actually the fact that she actually had abilities when she before and it was just unlocked by the Mind Stone. I don't fully think that that Agatha is evil. Part of me doesn't think that she's like full on evil. I feel like she's trying to just understand Wanda or get Wanda to understand like who she really is. There's something about how she was acting that whole time didn't it just she doesn't seem like full on evil. Even though she was choking her kids at the end, that could still just be more of a push to get her to release her powers again, like she did when she had that breakdown
Yeah.
and created the whole
Oh
hex.
yeah, no, absolutely. Dark Eyes, we are not. I will let you know if we're going to go into spoiler territory with regards to the episode of WandaVision, episode 8. But going further into episode 9 speculation. Excuse me, the final episode, which is tomorrow. Okay, there has been reports that there was a leak of the potential big, huge spoiler reveal. Now, I don't know if this is true or not. If you don't want to know, if you don't want to, if you don't want to, be spoiled, then you've been warned to close your ears right now or, put earmuffs on or whatever you want to do. But I'm going to tell you, I have heard that there will be a visit from a certain X-Men. Have you heard that? What are your thoughts on it? Do you think that will happen?
Who from?
Well, I will tell you.
Like,
I will tell you. I know you're like, wait, this is news to me. Okay, well, again, this is all speculation.
Because I mean, I've heard like many things, so I heard so many theories and everything. So I don't know. I know like, people were thinking Magneto was going to show up at one point.
Right, and that's exactly who I was going to say. The footage that I saw, while very grainy, appears to show Magneto portrayed by the actor that portrayed him in the most recent X-Men movies.
Michael Fassbender.
Michael Fassbender, absolutely. So, one, if that happens, I wouldn't be surprised because we've already gotten a taste by having her brother come back. Her brother being Quicksilver, right? Quicksilver come back, but he was portrayed by the actor, what is his name? Evan Peters, because he was the one that was in all of the most recent X-Men movies, correct?
Correct.
So they have him in there, but it made it seem like Agatha was responsible for that hex, right? But what if there's a twist that we just don't know about, right? And so I'm thinking if they're going to bring something like that into the fold, then I believe that we might be seeing an X-Men style surprise, spoiler or whatever we want to call it, happen in the final episode. What do you think? What do you think is going to happen?
I don't know, man, because I don't see because since they already showed who her father is. I mean, I know like they could be some kind of, like I said, that his real father would be her father from like the multiverse. I don't see with how the story is going right now. I don't see how Magneto showing up would fit in, but I feel like it would just be done for just fan service, which I hope there's actual. If it is true,
right.
I hope there's a reason why he shows up,
right,
and it's not just for fan service. Hey, look who we got.
Right. Like, don't do it just to do it. Like, make it natural to the actual story, because I think when you do that, if you do it that way, then to me, then it becomes like it's almost like a, it's like a cheat. You know what I mean? Like, it's like a cheat, and I wouldn't want it to be in that way as well. So I definitely agree with you there. Dwayne the Boulder Johnson says that Agatha needs her own spinoff expeditiously. I agree, sir. I think she's an amazing actress. I think she did a phenomenal job. Also, fun fact, or not a fun fact, she's 47 years old. She looks great in the role. I would have never thought that.
Yeah, no, I can't. I would have thought she was like in her 30s
Absolutely,
or maybe like early 40s,
early
not
40s,
almost 50.
Right, exactly. I was very surprised.
Yeah, her theme song Agatha has been stuck in my head since the week before last.
That show is that theme song is amazing. So yeah, I definitely agree there. So all right, so let's do this. we're going to dive into the continuing coverage of the Justice League Snyder Cut. Before we do that, I want to play the trailer to the Justice League, the final trailer for the Justice League Snyder Cut. I want to talk about it. Obviously, you know, we're all huge DC fans at the House of Fandom, but we really are going to dive deep into coverage leading up to and with the release of the Justice League Snyder Cut. A history-making situation here. We'll talk more about that. Let me play the trailer first. Ladies and gentlemen, the trailer for the Justice League Snyder Cut.
The bell's been rung. Out in the dark, among the stars, the god is dead.
I had a dream. Almost like a premonition. I think there's an attack coming.
My lord, this world will fall.
I need warriors. I'm building an alliance to defend ourselves.
How do you know your team's strong enough? If you can't bring down the charging bull, then don't wave the red cape at
You were sent here for a reason. And even if it takes you the rest of your life, find out what that reason is.
They said the age of heroes would never come again.
It will. It has to. We live in a society where honor is a distant memory. Isn't that right, Batman?
And we are back. And just so you guys know, we are just returning back from, if you just joined us, the House of Fandom. And I am rocking here with my boy from Detroit, Mr. Tony the Tank. Not Tony the Tiger. He ate Tony the Tiger because he's bigger than Tony the Tiger. But nah, I kid. Welcome back, sir. We just showed the trailer for the Snyder Cut. We continue to do that. And the reason for it is just I'm excited about this. I know you are. What are you thinking as you continue as we get closer to realizing the original vision that Zack Snyder had before that tragedy happened and his daughter, tragically committed suicide? Heart goes out to him and his family. But for him to be able to come back after the fans said, damn it, we want his vision, to be able to say, we are literally under 2 weeks to this happening and realizing it. How excited are you? And what are your thoughts on this Justice League Snyder Cut?
I'm very excited for it. I mean, I like the original Justice League, even in the way it was. But I'm excited to see Zack Snyder's true vision, and I want to see how much. Cause I feel like a lot of it's just going to be like the backstory of Darkseid, because that's what it seems like. So I'm just interested to see, I'm interested to see because I have a theory that the Black Superman suit, there's one scene where he's looking pissed off and he's shooting his lasers out. I have a feeling that that's part of the nightmare scene.
Okay.
So I have a feeling about that. But I'm really excited to see his whole vision. I'm going to sit there and watch all 4 hours of this.
Yo, and so here's the thing here. I'm going to tell you something right now. I am super excited about it as well. I cannot wait to see this. I want to watch it as well, all 4 hours. I have been extending invitations to all of our guest hosts that have hosted in the House of Fandom. I'm going to extend this personally to you. We will be doing coverage in a panel of total DC guys that want to talk about the Snyder Cut. And you know, we're either going to love it or we're going to not love it, right?
Right. Yeah.
But we're going to have an opinion on it. So I'd like to extend you the to come on with us and rock with us. We're going to do a four episode piece on the Snyder Cut, covering each one of the episodes that, you know, how they're doing it in that whole like chapters. Yeah. And so I'd like to have you join us because we can't just devote it in one show. We've got to go chapters, and then we have to just complete a whole finale and just bring us home. So I hope to have you on as well as Danny, who is going to join us, as well as Mello, and of course Kyle, my co-host, who is he is missing in action with diaper duty. He recently had a baby, so that's why everybody's been stepping up to come on the House of Fandom. So, how excited are you about the Justice League? And the more and more I see, the more excited I get. What do you think about the black suit being utilized in the Snyder Cut?
I love it. I mean, I hope it's actually for the reason that it was in the comic books, and it's not just, you know, more fan service. Cause like in the comic books, it was used so he could, after he was killed by Doomsday, so he could take in sun more quicker. So
right.
To heal himself.
So it was really a rehabilitation suit, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So a lot of people don't know that it wasn't just like a gimmick, right? This was actually specifically for Superman's rehabilitation when he was almost killed, you know, right? And so it would make perfect sense to do that because he when in Batman v Superman, we all know he got the wrong side of a stake from what's his
Doomsday.
name? Doomsday. Sorry, I just had to say that. So yeah, so I'm excited about seeing that. I do have some concerns. My concern is I really do hope that Cavill just doesn't show up at the end of the film. Like, I really hope that that they had filmed a lot more footage, because I think it'd be a shame to just kind of shoehorn him in the last, not even 20 minutes of a 4-hour movie.
How they did in the original Justice League. Where
exactly. The shitstorm that we saw in 2017. I mean, I was just like, I know, listen, grown men crying. I'm sure me and you were like going, damn.
I hope they keep like the best scene in that movie when Kal-El came back to life. And he was destroying everybody. Like he was like when he came back and he didn't know who he was.
Right. He was throwing people left and right.
Yeah, and just destroying all the Justice League. I hope they keep that in because I still like every time I watch that movie, that's still my favorite scene.
Yeah. Now here's what I would say. From what I understand, that scene was for the most part filmed by Zack Snyder before leaving. So I do know that. Now there were portions of it that we see that whole weird lip of the CGI lip, and when he goes to Batman and he goes, "Do you bleed? Do you bleed?" And I'm like, "What? He looks crazy!" Kids were screaming, "No, it's not Superman!" So he looked pretty wild. Now, I understand that scene was actually, there were several scenes that were different. Like, I don't know if you remember, there was a scene where, the car's being thrown and Cyborg catches the car. So I don't know if you saw that in the trailer. There's a scene there that was not in the original, the Justice League that we got. So I believe we're going to see that as well. So I'm excited about that.
I'm excited to see like more like how they take more on Cyborg. It looks like it's going to be a lot more Cyborg than the original movie. Like his backstory and how he came to be how he is.
Yeah, absolutely. So let's talk Cyborg. Danny said he's going to come on the panel wearing the Batman suit. I dare you. I double dog dare you, Danny. If you show up with a bat suit, I will buy you dinner. I double dog dare you, my friend. And everybody, pay attention. You notice that the Tank brought out his Superman. The S is like now showing up in the pictures. So yeah, cool. All right. Here's the thing. what were just bringing me
Cyborg.
back. What was it again?
Cyborg.
Cyborg. Okay, I think that the whole situation with the actor that portrays Cyborg, that's really messed up. I mean, the whole situation is just a cluster fudge. I mean, I think honestly, it's a mess. A couple of things. One, I think that unfortunately his role got completely sidelined. You know what I mean? Like, I think they did not do him justice, no pun intended, but they really messed him up. So I am really hopeful that the heart of the movie, like they said, Cyborg's arc of being a human and, you know, unfortunately through the series of events of what happened to him, right? The tragedy there. I hope that storyline is redeemed.
Yeah.
Now, correct me if I'm wrong. The actor's name is Ray
Fisher.
Ray Fisher has stated that that under the previous regime at Warner Brothers, working with this guy, the Buffy guy, what is his name?
Josh Whedon.
Josh Whedon, I heard is completely like people have come out of the woodwork saying Josh Whedon was inappropriate in the way he handled the crew. He was abusive. All that stuff. Now, here's the thing, and I'm not going to get political here, but Ray Fisher brings it up, right? And everybody's saying the same narrative: angry black man, angry actor, ungrateful. I mean, right? Am I wrong?
Yeah.
This was the narrative played by the press, right?
Yeah.
Now, it comes out now that wait, the actresses that were in Buffy many years ago agreed. Yes, they stand by Ray Fisher. He was abusive. There were so many things in there coming out. So it's a shame that like he actually had the courage to speak out, but so many people are just throwing him under the bus. And I just think that it's unfortunate because I believe he is a good actor. And the reason for that, if you watch True Detective, if anybody has watched the True Detective HBO series, the last one, with that amazing actor, and it escapes me now, but he won the Oscar for, I forgot, but you know him. He's gonna be the next Blade. I can't remember his name, but I think you know who I'm talking about. But that actor portrayed it. He played his son. I thought Ray Fisher had a brilliant performance. So what I would say to people that say, "Oh, he's a hack" or whatever, I think he's a great actor, and I think that his role got completely reduced in post-production, and I think it was part of a retaliatory action against him. Do you agree with that?
100%. Because even like in the first trailer for the original, there was so much more Cyborg backstory than we got to see in the movie.
Correct.
So they didn't even bother to fix the trailer. They just said,
right, we're putting a bunch of stuff in there that he's not in it, but yeah, we're gonna do that anyway.
So
yeah, I agree.
I 100% agree and believe that his like it was some kind of retaliation or whatever that his story got cut really short.
Yeah,
so
I agree.
I am excited to see that all fleshed out.
Yeah, I absolutely agree. I want to see Cyborg. I'm just so excited. Everyone, if you haven't had a chance, they put out some clips. There's one Batman clip from the Justice League with Ben Affleck. It looks so crazy. It's got him on top of his bat tank, this giant Batman tank. I don't know if you saw that yet.
No,
dude, it looks so dope. And here's the thing. Darkseid is in the background narrating the whole situation. Dude, you got to see it. If you haven't seen it, it's like I want to say maybe like about 60 seconds long, but it's Batman-centric. And, bro, seriously, you definitely have to see it, man. It looks dope. If you guys have not seen it already, just go ahead and scroll in and type in on YouTube. Type in the Batman Justice League trailer. And believe me, the newest one that came out is awesome. Now, I'm so excited about it. Just real quick, I want to say a shout out to the room again. Thank you guys for rocking with us. We see you. Andrew Ellis is on there. Thank you for coming up. Dark Guys, Bueller 1, thank you for rocking with us. Mello, my cousin, thank you so much. He says that we're doing great. No cap, as the kids say.
Thank you.
So, hey, I salute you, Mello. Thank you for saying that. Now, getting back to the topic at hand, Justice League. 1, there have been reports, and I got to be fair and concise here, there have been reports that executives that have seen it are not happy with it. Now, at this point, I don't give a rat's ass, okay, what any executives say. Because these are the same executives, right, that said, we're going to give you a lighter-hearted Justice League, and it's going to be great, right? Yeah. So, what are you thinking? Are you in your heart, what do you really, what do you want it to be for you?
I don't want it to be I think a lot of problems with like the critics and the executives, they want it to be more similar to Marvel. They want it to be all more upbeat and everything. Like, I don't want that. I have Marvel for that. I want this and people hated Man of Steel because it was like so like a more like down and gloomy Superman. Like I liked it. That was it showed everybody talk about how boring and cookie cutter he is. It showed a different side of him. I mean, I want it to be like I just wanted to flesh out more backstory. I want one issue I had with the original was the fact that Steppenwolf should not have been able to beat all of the Justice League. Like Wonder Woman alone could have took out Steppenwolf. Like how they made him so powerful that only Superman could beat him was a little weird.
Right. I agree with you there.
But yeah, I just wanted to flesh out because one problem with Justice League is that they tried to catch up to Marvel in a lot less time. So there was like no backstories for anyone except for Superman and Wonder Woman, really. And and then Batman, Batman, that's what Batman v Superman was. Batman v Superman was to flesh out, his backstory that we've all known for 100 years. But so I just wanted to be more fleshed out of the backstory of to have Darkseid, Flash, and Cyborg. I just want more of their backstories and more involvement of them, and then where they're not just sidelined.
Yeah, I agree. And here's the thing. For those of you that don't know this, what we're going to see, the final information that has come out is that it's about 4 hours and 1 minute long, right? And so it's in chapters, and I want to read the chapters here, okay? So what I'm bringing up here is I wanted to bring up the Justice League Snyder Cut chapters that have been released today by Warner Brothers, or rather HBO Max, okay? And so let's go into the chapters, okay, shall we? Okay, here we go. All 6 chapters have been revealed. They're in 6 chapters, everybody, okay? Are you ready? So the first chapter that we have is called Don't Count on It, Batman. So the first chapter of the Justice League Snyder Cut is Chapter 1, Don't Count on It, Batman. So that's going to be an interesting one right there, right? Yeah. And so there's definitely a lot of chapters that they're talking about, right? And so what does that reveal about the story? I don't know. But chapter 1 is Don't Count on It, Batman. And then chapter 2 is The Age of Heroes. So talk to me a little bit about what are you speculating on those first 2 chapters?
First one is going to be like more of all like the nightmare scene where Batman is like in that apocalyptic world where Darkseid took over, and it's also probably going to be where they have that's one scene where the Joker was in it. Mm-hmm. So that's probably going to be what that is. Okay. From the sound of it. Okay, fair enough. The Age of Heroes, that's probably going to be more fleshed out of that one scene where Diane in the first one.
So the Amazonians.
Where Diana was talking about like where the Amazons, the Atlanteans, the old gods, and even the one Green Lantern where they were all fighting the Steppenwolf and the what are they called, Parademons. But this time it actually will have Darkseid in it as well. I think that's what that's going to be.
All right, let me ask you this: Part 3, Beloved Mother, Beloved Son.
Probably fleshing out what the mother box is able to do.
Okay.
Or how about this? Or how it became to be, or whatever.
Okay. this part 4. These are all the chapters that you're going to be able to see, because the way they're setting it up, HBO Max, is that if you want to take a break, they're setting it up in chapters so that you could watch it. And I believe they're like 45 minutes long. It appears to be. So the next one, part 4, I think you know what this is. Change Machine. Change Machine.
That's about Cyborg.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. The next one is All the King's Horses. Interesting title.
I have no... What?
I know, right? He's like, wait a minute, what? Wait. Okay, I'm going to say it again. The next title is All the King's Horses.
Huh.
I mean, he wasn't a horse during the nightmare scenario, right? I think he was... Yeah. So maybe... Or in the beginning of the film, he was too, right? Or a beginning of what we saw, like him, like riding the horse to go to where Arthur Curry was. You know what I mean? Yeah. Aquaman. Okay, yeah. The final one. All right, everybody, is Something Darker. I think I know what that is.
Yeah, it's where they show maybe where like Darkseid shows up at the end, because like obviously the one I think all the scenes we've seen of him have been like in like the Age of Heroes time. Yes. Maybe this is him actually like when Steppenwolf gets defeated, instead of him just disappearing, right, Darkseid shows up again.
Right. It's interesting that the last one is at an hour long, so I'm wondering if all hell's gonna break loose, and that's the finale. Now, interestingly enough, there is an epilogue. Does this give us some sort of surprise? Speculation, everyone, is that the Justice League ends with a major cliffhanger. Now, I don't know about you, but if that's the case, is Warner Brothers trying to gauge what the interest is? If this blows out the roof, if it blows up HBO Max's, cyborgs or whatever you want to call it, all their innards, I bet you we'll hear another version, his version, maybe happening. Do you think that's even a possibility?
For like a Justice League 2?
Correct.
I think it's definitely a possibility. I mean, I know like Zack Snyder, like even he was asked that and he said that he has no plans for it.
Right.
But he's open to it. So he probably wants to see how this one does and how people like it and how it's received. And then we'll go from there.
Well, let's be honest here. No one thought that the Snyder Cut would be released. They said it was a mythical creature. Yeah. It was a unicorn. It was never going to happen. It's
been like 4 years. Like
4 years in the making.
Ever since the first Justice League came out, everyone's been asking for the Snyder Cut.
The Snyder Cut.
Finally, 4 years later.
We're going to be able to see it. And we're going to get literally 3.5 hours almost of new footage. It's a whole new movie. People need to understand this is not deleted scenes. They gave him $70 million to finish this movie. $70 million. That's a lot of money to go back on a film that already cost $250 million to make. So I am very excited about this. That ends this portion of the show for the Justice League, right? Because we got our final topic. And this, I think, is a perfect way to segue into our last topic of the evening. I've had a chance, and I know you have had a chance, to watch the latest show from the CW, and this one is titled Superman and Lois. I recently watched 2 episodes of it, the 2 episodes that were out. I would like to know, what is your opinion of it, and what do you like about it?
I like it a good amount. I mean, it's no Smallville, like I said, but it's a good show. I mean, I like it's more so deep into his family life. Little work. I don't think you watched like any of the previous CW shows, but like before he only had like one son, like one kid that was a baby, right? And then like all their little Crisis on Infinite Earth multiverse stuff happened, and now he has 2 kids that are teenagers. So they haven't really talked about that. They just left that out there. But I like the show. I like how they have the Captain Luthor. They haven't said he's Lex Luthor, but I feel like, why would you call him Captain Luthor as he's not? At first, I wasn't sure, when they first casted it. I think his name is Tyler. I don't know how to say his last name. I know it starts with an H. When he first because when he first casted him, I wasn't too sure because only thing I've seen him in before was like Teen Wolf.
Right.
But he's like so far he's been he's been a good Clark Kent and Superman.
Yeah, I'll be honest with you. I definitely I watched the show, and I got to be honest with you. At first, I was like, I don't want to watch this. This is going to be another CW, low budget. I'm not gonna like mince words here. I hate to use that word, but I hated the costume for the Superman that portrays in this one. Not this costume, but the costume they use for the Supergirl.
The first one. That was horrendous. I don't know who.
Come on, man. Why can't we get the costume right? Come on, be honest. What's the problem with the why can't we get the costume right? I mean, is that so hard to ask for?
Right.
Right now, this costume that we just played of there was, the costume that they're using now is amazing. I thought it's perfect. The production value of this new Superman show is very good. Yeah. It feels like big budget, huge big budget, and the story is actually not just a rehash of what we've seen and what we've heard. What do you like about the approach for this show?
One thing I like how they had like the super old school costume, like in the first, like when he first.
Yes, and he said my mom made it. Yeah, yeah, I love that. But people need to realize that Superman's mom used, his Earth adopted mother, right, Martha Kent, made the costume out of the material that he was wrapped in as a baby, which is why it's indestructible. So I love that nod. I really did. But go ahead.
But I like how it's because like I said, it's not the same old cookie cutter Superman story. It's more so about like how he's this big old the world's greatest superhero, but his sons don't even really. He's still just a father to his sons. Mm-hmm. It's like his one son his one son Jordan, who hates him, but his son hates everybody. But it's cool. Like it doesn't matter how great of a superhero you are, he's still struggling to just be a dad. Like there's no superpower that can help him be a dad.
I think you said it. You said it perfectly. I really enjoy the dynamic of him having his sons. I also like, and this is a little bit of a spoiler, that they're still trying to figure out if the sons have any powers, without getting too much into details there. So that's a really interesting, piece of this story. But I like the fact that they went back to Smallville. And a lot of people may think, oh, well, they're going back to Smallville. What's the point? But here's the thing. We know Superman and Lois have been in the Daily Planet. We've seen them rocket there. Why not bring him back as an adult? And I think that's brilliant. I really think it's brilliant. What do you think?
Yeah, because I can't remember any medium except for Smallville, but he grew up there, like where he was actually Superman, but lived in Smallville.
Right. I was thinking the same thing. I was talking to my cousin Mello about it earlier today, and I had told him, hey, you need to check this out. We're going to talk about it later. And he said to me, I don't remember ever being seeing or hearing about it, whether in the comics or whatever, where he lives and returns back to Smallville. And I think in that respect, as Superman, not as like the stuff that we've seen, right? Not as Clark Kent, but as Superman. I really like that about this show. I think it's fresh. I like the way the take is on it. It's a fresh take of it. And honestly, from the first 2 episodes, I really am liking it. I'm really liking the direction that it's going.
Yeah, I am too. I'm really interested to see like how they're going to go with the sons, because without too much spoiler, so far the one has shown powers, and it wasn't the one that everyone thought would be.
Right, exactly.
But I want to see if they're going to keep it that way, where only one has powers, or if what if something happens and the other one gets powers, but he has the other one develops powers, but his are full on powers, and the other one still just has these bursts. So it's still got that jealousy thing going on. So that's gonna be real interesting to see how they flesh out the powers of the sons.
Yeah, I completely agree with you there. I'm excited to see where it goes. I watched it with my wife. We enjoyed it a lot. I thought it was really cool. I love the way that they're treating the character. And also, what I really enjoyed is that they got the costume right, man. And I talked to you about it earlier. I'm like, man, how hard is it to get the Superman? Come on, man. Like, give us something here. Why did they try so hard?
I think probably with the first one, since he was only like when he first started, he was only in like 2 episodes of Supergirl, and then he was in like 1 episode and like one or 2 episodes of The Crisis. So I feel like maybe like before they decided they wanted to do the show, they just said, "F it, the suit we just make a suit. Doesn't need to look great. Just make a suit for how little he's going to be in the show." Then when they realize, hey, let's make a whole show out of this. Okay, we need a better suit now. So then that's why they have this new suit that is much, much better.
Yeah, I listen. I thought the new suit is perfect. I was getting a lot of the Superman Returns vibes from the actual like suit, but I think they made the suit better than the Superman Returns suit. I thought it was too dark, too leathery. You know what I mean? Like, this suit is a perfect combination of all of them. And what I really like is it makes him look good. Because I'll be honest, I don't like the actor per se. I'm still kind of working through it, because I didn't like him in Supergirl, and I don't like the way he's just like. There's something a little bit like maybe I just don't picture him as Superman. But in watching this show, I'm starting to get convinced that he's perfect for the role. He's doing a great job, and most importantly, they're finally getting it right. Superman is about heart. Superman is about someone who, like you said earlier, is so powerful that can basically invulnerable, like, to anything. You know what I mean? Like, he is unstoppable, but yet has the wisdom and the heart to use it for good instead of trying to take over the joint, right? And so that's really what Superman is, right? In essence, it's someone that is an alien to this world, that comes to this world with amazing powers and really could take over the earth and enslave us all, but instead chooses to do the right thing and has it in his soul, and the goodness is there. I see that done perfectly with Captain America. Would you agree, in the Marvel universe of movies?
Yeah, 100%. Yeah. Because Chris Evans plays the perfect Captain Marvel, Captain America.
Captain America.
Okay.
The other one is a lady, but that's okay. We're getting a little older.
I thought I heard you say Captain Marvel. So
yeah. No. What I'm saying is Captain America. Like, I really feel like they got his character perfectly down straight, because he was a Boy Scout in that sense. He was the do-gooder.
Yeah, he showed, like, over the years and all the movies, he's like, his character development, is probably his, and like Iron Man's probably the 2 best character developments of that whole movie, which makes sense because they're the top 2 there.
Right.
Like how like especially like watching about like in the first like like Age of Ultron and everything, where like he didn't like we was like language, and then he gets to the point where he's like cussing himself and everything. And
right, I completely agree. Yeah. No, I think that. That was a perfect way to, like, you can make Superman good, but you can give him the edge as well. But don't ruin what the character is. He's not Batman. He's not, we don't need him to be angsty. You can have layers there, but you have to remember that ultimately Superman is a beacon of hope and a beacon of good because he chooses to do so. You know what I mean? Because he could be a gangster if he wants to be. I mean, he's got the powers to do it, right? So, yeah. So, I mean,
take over the world.
Absolutely. A couple of things before we wrap up. I definitely like the special effects. Like, listen, I don't know what kind of budget they're rocking with, but let's be honest, we've seen kind of some sketchy special effects shots in previous CW related films. Series.
I think because now DC has their deal with HBO Max.
Mm-hmm.
They must be getting HBO Max
money.
They must be getting HBO. They must be getting HBO money, because this is unlike any other CW show. Like, I've watched CW shows my whole life.
Yes.
Well, not my whole life, but ever since Smallville, I've been watching CW shows. the special effects and just this looks like more like a movie than a TV show.
I completely 100% agree with you. I got the same vibes, man. I really did. And that's why I really am excited about this show, and I want to continue to watch it. A lot of people reached out to me about it. They know my love for Superman, and they were like, hey, man, you got to watch this Superman and Lois. It's pretty good. And I was like, don't worry, I'm going to do it, and I'm going to talk about it on the House of Fandom. You got to tune in so that you can get my opinion on it. But I agree with you there. I'm excited to see where it goes as well. I do have a question, though. Do you think that this ends up being a situation where we see, I guess, a moving from, like, you know, how they did the whole, like, the arc where they jump from show to show within the CW, or do you think it's going to be self-contained?
I think it's probably going to be. I don't know. I'm trying to think because I know that they were going to plan on doing it more. I think it's going to be more self-contained because this Kal-El, this Superman, he didn't have like the relationship that Supergirl did with the Flash and all of them.
Yeah, and I was thinking the same thing. Yeah,
he didn't meet them until this last crossover of the Crisis on Infinite Earths, and he still didn't even interact with all of them that much. So I don't think he'll be a big part. I don't think he'll be a big part in the crossovers.
All right, that makes sense to me. I mean, like I said, I don't know for sure if it's going to happen, but the other question I wanted to ask for you, speaking of HBO Max, would you like to see Brandon Routh reprise his Superman role in that older version of Superman in a show centered around that multiverse character?
You know, up until this last Crisis, I would have just the CW crossover, the Crisis on Infinite, their Crisis.
Right.
I would have said no. But then they had him play like the Kingdom Come version.
Right.
And he actually was good at it.
I thought he was good too.
And looked good. So
agreed.
I would like to see it now.
Yeah,
before that I would have said no.
Right, exactly.
But now, I would like to see it.
I would like them to update the costume a little bit, but I would definitely think that he still can rock it, man. Like, let's be honest, they had to make him look older. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So, like, I would love to see something like that. I want to see more series that flesh out the DC characters because we haven't really had that. And I think with HBO Max, we're going to be able to get more of those type of shows where we're able to see those shows, across those platforms, like you said, with better budget. Because I'll be honest with you, looking at that budget, to me, it was like better than Superman. It was like on par with Superman Returns budget as far as the special effects and the flying scenes. And let me just point one more thing out. It's very enjoyable to actually see Superman when he's flying. I'm just going to throw a little nitpick I have, man. I love Henry Cavill's Superman, but I don't like the way they depict him flying because I could never tell that he's flying. I mean, I can't see his face. I want to see his face. Yeah. I want I want the scene to focus on him so that you can see him and you can pan out those shots and have him go really fast, and that's fine. But I do think that it takes away from like that connection when he doesn't fly the way I've seen him fly before.
Yeah, I understand.
You know what I mean?
I completely agree.
So,
completely agree.
Anyway, all right. So, in closing, with regards to Superman and Lois, sounds to me like you're giving this one a definite must see, right? So, if you haven't seen it already,
definitely yes, must see. Yes, especially if you're a fan of DC, Superman, definitely must see.
I agree with you. I'm really glad that I watched it because I'm going to continue watching it. You know what I mean? Like, I think it's going to be one of those shows. I believe that show has the possibility to run for a long time. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
like,
it already got renewed.
I'm glad you brought that up. I was just going to say, I did hear that it was renewed already for a second season. So, obviously, Warner Brothers has a lot of faith in this show.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So, like, that to me is going to be exciting. I'm really excited about like the future of DC, but man, am I super excited about the Snyder cut. I know we talked about it ad nauseum, but man, I'm hyped, man. I am hyped. dude, you know, and I know. Let me ask you this, and this is we've got a bunch of people in there still, and I wanted to say, give a shout out to the people in the room. Thank you so much for rocking with us. Thank you for being here. Thank you for supporting the channel. If you haven't done so already, hit that like button. Show some love to our guest host, Mr. Tank from Detroit, live from Detroit, taking the time out and rocking it with us without any prep, by the way. No prep whatsoever. We flew by the seat of our pants. I wanted to have a natural setting, and credit to him for really making it happen. So I know about my excitement for the Justice League is gonna be through the roof. Are you watching it right at midnight or whenever they dump it in there? What is it that you're gonna do? What is gonna be your what is Tony the Tank's method to his madness? Will you be watching it on a giant screen? Will you be rocking it with bass? What are you gonna do?
Oh, no, yeah, I got a big old 65-inch TV. I'm gonna watch
clean. A little stereo surround.
No stereo surround, unfortunately.
Okay. But you'll be rocking it on the big screen though, the home big screen, right?
Yes.
Will you now? If it comes out at midnight, if it comes out at 12:01 on the date of release, which I believe is March 18th, are you watching it that time, or are you gonna wait? You're gonna watch it at 12:01? Man, yo,
I stay up late anyway.
All right, fair enough, dude. That's awesome, man. All right, so we covered a lot today. We covered fandom news. We went and deep dived into Justice League, the Snyder Cut, the continuing coverage at the House of Fandom. We talked about different things that are going on with the Superman universe, the Superman reboot with J.J. Abrams, and the potential to see another multiverse character or iteration of Superman. Maybe Michael B. Jordan, who knows? Everybody's speculating on that. We talked about this great new show, Superman and Lois. If you haven't watched it already, you need to watch it. But before we go, there's a few things I want to talk about. One, if you haven't already, talk to your friends about Lights Up Productions, about House of Fandom, but also about my boys over out there in Boston, Townie Sports. Even though I'm not a Boston fan, but Townie Sports with Vic and Sammy, they do a great sports show. I mean, these guys rock it out. Every time they come in, these guys have their notes ready. They're ready to talk some business when it comes to sports. So if you haven't had a chance to already, check out one of the episodes of Townie Sports. If you haven't checked out previous episodes of House of Fandom, they're in there as well. You need to check us out. Next week, most likely, the continuing revolving carousel of guest hosts continue. It looks like we're going to have, here we go, looks like another guest host will be joining us. It looks like Kyle will be coming back to us to do the panel of the Justice League. He said he'll get no sleep at all because he's got two kids now, right? Two small kids, but he will be there for the panel. He may be there in pajamas. He may be there half asleep, but he will be there. Holding the baby, talking about the Justice League. He don't care. He's rocking it, right? But looking ahead, next week, Townie Sports in their new day, Tuesdays at 8 p.m., Townie Sports, they are going to dive deep into March Madness. They are going crazy bananas into March Madness. So if you're into sports, if you're into NBA, if you're into sports in general, these guys are a wealth of knowledge and they know how to have fun while they're talking sports. You need to tune in. If you haven't done so already, take a sampling of their show. Then, on Thursday, special night, Clark is back. I'm back, and I'm going to be joined again by previous guest host, Danny, and we are going to talk about a bunch of different things. Most importantly, our continuing coverage leading up to the premiere of the Justice League. I'm super excited about that. You guys need to rock out. Tell your friends about us. Tell everybody you can. We're a struggling podcast. We want to bring content to you. We're excited about it. I also want to just say before we go, are you excited about Coming to America 2? It comes out tomorrow.
Oh, I didn't know it come out tomorrow. Yeah, I am.
I will be watching it. I will be watching it.
I didn't know it came out tomorrow.
I cannot wait to see them in the barber shop And I was like, you got to be goddamn man. You're my Muhammad Ali is the best fighter of all time. No, he isn't. Yes, he is. No, he isn't. Yes, he is. I cannot wait to see that. I don't know how they're still alive, though, after all those years, like 30 years. But you know what? We'll just go with it. We'll go with it. But man, I am super excited. I gotta point out though, that, and I know I'm talking a lot here, but Mello, my cousin, says no to Boston, yes to the Yankees, the Bronx Bombers. I gotta give a shout out to the Bronx Bombers, the New York Yankees. I was raised in Queens, so I'm gonna give a shout out to the Mets. But yeah, that's how I want to do it. But anyway, I want to just close out and tell you what a pleasure it was, Tony, to have you on here, Mr. Tony the Tank, rocking with us at the House of Fandom. You were amazing, my man. I appreciate you so much. I hope that you will join us again, obviously with the Justice League panel, and I hope you had as much fun as I did.
Oh yeah, I had a blast. Yeah, I'll definitely be here any other time you want me to come. I'll be
awesome.
Here. I'll definitely be there for the panel.
Awesome. Yeah, you know we're gonna be talking about it.
I'll probably have watched the movie 2-3 times.
Oh yeah, you'll be ready. You'll be like, okay, here's my notes. Let's start out with Darkseid. Let's start out with the CGI of what's his name? I forgot. You know what I'm talking about. His crony that they screwed up in the other Justice League. Steppenwolf, right? And so yeah, I just can't wait to do that. So anyway, everyone in the room, all the listeners, thank you so much. You have viewed another episode of the House of Fandom. I'm your host, Clark, on the check-in, rocking it here, live from Detroit with Tony the Tank, Superman fan extraordinaire like myself. On behalf of the show, on behalf of everyone else, I want you guys to have a great night, have a safe one, and keep listening, everybody. And we're going to play us out with a song from our very own Mr. Sammy, and this is his song, so I'll let him close us out with his song. He goes by Sandstorm, so everyone just stick around for the music and have a great night. Take care, brother. Appreciate everything, man.
Sandstorm. Yeah. Put your hands up. Let's go. Bob your head to SC Catchy. Hey, it's me. Starting on my grizzy. Starting on my grizzy. Yeah, you know how I do. Yeah, starting on my grizzy. Starting on my grizzy. Yeah, starting on my grizzy. Yeah, you know how I do. Yeah, starting on my grizzy. Starting on my grizzy. Starting on my grizzy. You know how I do. Yeah, starting on my grizzy. Starting on my grizzy. Starting on my grizzy. Yeah, you know how I do. Yeah, starting on my grizzy. Starting on my grizzy. I'm starting on my grizzy. Stunting on my grizzy, I'm stunting on my grizzy, Come in the club, yeah, I'm highest height. Seeing all the flashing lights, it's Vegas night. Step through, suited up like a crime fight. You know that I wanna leave with a dime, right? Spanish, Latina, tengo la llave. Wanna roll cap G, you can come find me. VIP drinks free, that's where I be. Yeah, I roll with them boys, not Tommy. Straight tone, got me in the zone. You texting your man, once you get off the phone. I'm in here looking for a dime to phone and tell him I can spit on some reggaeton. Stunting on my grizzy, stunting on my grizzy. Yeah, you know how I do, yeah, stunting on my grizzy. Stunting on my grizzy, yeah, stunting on my grizzy. Yeah, you know how I do, yeah, stunting on my grizzy. Stunting on my grizzy, stunting on my grizzy. You know how I do, yeah, stunting on my grizzy. Stunting on my grizzy, stunting on my grizzy. Yeah, you know how I do, yeah, stunting on my grizzy. Stunting on my grizzy, I'm stunting on my grizzy, stunting on my grizzy, I'm stunting on my grizzy,
Oye, dime quién responde, ese culo tuyo enorme. Freca necia, cara bonita, labio de fresa. Y yo vine para atrás, chequea este flow que te no he copiado nada. I be standing on my greasy, tengo un par de tipas que no lo fuerza tan easy. Dame un beso, olvídate de eso, lo que quiero es sexo. Estoy en el bloque, prendo un Dodge y me voy en el coche. Regresé con mi equipo blanco, peligroso, no perico. A lot of niggas con mi chico, cara bonita, no sencillo. Muchos me dicen clásico, es peligroso, un maniático. Y todos ustedes son mi hijo, cause I make it look easy, frito.
Stunting on my grizzy, stunting on my grizzy. Yeah, you know how I do, yeah, stunting on my grizzy. Stunting on my grizzy, yeah, stunting on my grizzy. Yeah, you know how I do, yeah, stunting on my grizzy. Stunting on my grizzy, stunting on my grizzy. You know how I do, yeah, stunting on my grizzy. Stunting on my grizzy, stunting on my grizzy. Yeah, you know how I do. Stunting on my grizzly, Stunting on my grizzly, I'm stunting on my grizzly,
Yeah.
Hey, class, they ain't hear nothing like this.
Hell no, my nigga.
Yeah. That's when the different cultures collide.
They know.
Yeah. Sandstorm, classical. Yeah, man. Shout out to Cam, Daryl, oh boy Matt, D-Money, Single Dollar, the whole Skywalking crew. Hey, what up, Bangs? We here now,
Yes, we are.
so come find us.
Yeah.
Tú lo sabes.
We're in the building. SC got G's, nigga. If you don't like it, no te lo comas.